Hello. So today I wanted to do a video on a pretty interesting recent read I had with this book here. This is a manga titled すべてがちょっとずつ優しい世界, which means everything gradually becomes kinder in the world. Long title. This is a manga by the mangaka Nishijima Daisuke, who I have read one work from before, titled Orson Sensor, which I didn't really like, to be honest. So this is my second series by him that I've read, and I don't know. I do have mixed thoughts on this. I don't know if I actually like the manga itself, but it was definitely an interesting one to think about. So I thought, I might as well showcase this. Um, so going into the book, it's not a very long book either. It's only like for 200 pages or so. Here are the chapters. And essentially, the premise is, as you can see from the cover in the back, we're set on an island that is surrounded by darkness, essentially. And this town, or it's more of a village. It's a very small village. This village is just called the Village of the Dark, or the Dark Village. And here's a little map of it, of the island. Very, very small. You've got like the whole hills. You've got these little characters here. There's only a few of them, less than 10 in total. A little shack at the top and a tiny port. And what it is we start off with two characters, or three characters. We've got a ghost here, and we've got a boy, just named Boy, and his father, the chief of the village. So they don't have any names or anything. So that the boy is just named Boy, and we have the chief, and they pretty much just go about talking about the food, about the festival they do in this village here. And so another character is introduced, this little mouse, who is an assistant to the professor at the island. The professor loves to spend his time in his hut, never really comes out, and he studies something specific that will come up later. And another character here as well appears. Here's another little boy who loves to play music. And we've got three little pumpkin heads. And so they come together to light a fire for the festival. But what happens is the rain starts to pour and it extinguishes the fire, and everyone just has to go under shelter. So a little bit sad for the day, but it's okay because they've got each other. And you notice that the art style is very simple here. Not much going on in terms of character design or the setting and the landscape, but I think that very much lends to the story. Very interesting mood, atmosphere of the story. So we've got this little ghost here taking a peek. And the early chapters are pretty much like each chapter is like a little slice of life chapter detailing how these people live. We've got someone coming from the city to hand the chief a letter. And what's very important for the story is that they have on this island, although they are surrounded by darkness, they have this little aurora giving light to the island. And they look up to this aurora. It's their only source of light. So they don't have any electricity or anything on this island. It's just them surrounded by darkness. So it's a weird landscape to be in. But as we continue on, we learn a bit more. I think the mayor of the city comes and he proposes to help the village with the issue of the never-ending darkness. And it's a little bit right now. It's sort of neutral. Like we don't know anything about what is good, what is bad in this village. But this ghost here only appears to the boy with the glasses and sort of has some, or warns him of things. And so time passes, got a little more of their life in winter. It's very cute in terms of the character designs. Our little mouse here every day goes to the professor asking him if he wants to come out. But the professor says no because he is constantly studying and observing the aurora. So that's why he never comes out. So once every month, they get a shipment from the city, which gives them a couple of different things, little toys, a small piano for the boy. It's because these three pumpkin heads, they go to the city to work and they come back as well. So they also bring stuff back. And they're quite happy. Quite happy. The chief is happy for them as well, for the boy, finding things to play with. And the mayor comes back. And he essentially pitches a proposal for the island to collaborate with the city so that a tree of light can be established. And so you think, well, what is a tree of light? It will be revealed later, but right now, again, we're thinking, what can be? Is the mayor suspicious or anything like that? Is there anything to indicate that there's something wrong with establishing a tree of light? And so we continue on. The mayor comes back, and this is the plan. This is what the tree of light will look like. And here's the aurora in the distance. And so they begin to plan it, to grow the tree of light. Because when I started reading this, I thought tree of light just meant like a, I don't know, like a light pole or something. So like electricity. But in this case, it's a little less realistic than that. We've got ghosts in the story. We've got little pumpkin heads, weird characters. So it makes more sense for it to be like an actual organic thing. Or it could be inorganic, who knows. But it's in the shape of a tree and it provides light for the entire island. And everyone is quite happy with how much light they've been provided. But the ghost here seems very sad. They seem quite anxious. And we get a little glimpse of the chief here who looks at a picture of his wife who had passed away. He's currently in a graveyard. And so let's skip a little more forward. The boys also provided an actual piano by the city, the townspeople. And things seem okay so far. Nothing seems too wrong. They've also renamed their village or their island from being the dark village or the village of the dark to the village of the light. Now that they have the tree with them, but they notice that one day the aurora starts to fade away, starts to dissolve until it goes away completely. And this, at first, does not send anyone into panic because they have a new light source here, being the tree of light. But finally, this person with the cane here is the professor. He comes out and says that they're ruining the village with this tree of light. The aurora is gone and the village is now tainted. But everyone else thinks, well, should be fine, right? We've got light. That's what we wanted the whole time. Our darkness has been isolated. Our island has been isolated by darkness. It's a good thing. And when the mayor comes back, they show that the aurora has been taken out. It's disappeared. And so they've never seen this before, so they go back and then come back again to begin some research and investigate why the tree has made the aurora disappear. We also see some cracks forming in the tree as well. So everyone in the village begins to worry. And while reading this, I was thinking something along the lines of, like the island being tainted, like a culture being tainted by external influences. You have, although it's an island that is surrounded by darkness, they were happy before. The people there were happy with the limited contact they had with the city. But as soon as the city introduced this tree of light, which initially seemed great, their natural and beloved source of light, the aurora, had disappeared. So people begin to be a lot more upset. He doesn't want his piano anymore. The professor doesn't need the mouse anymore either. And it sort of revealed that these hold mountains here, the reason that they're hold was because a long time ago, the village used to be very busy. A lot of people used to live there because it used to be mined. So they set up a lot of mines on the village, on the island, until everything, all the resources were pretty much mined away, and everyone left, only leaving a couple of people behind. And so that gives a lot more context to the story as well. Looking at resources, the health and the well-being of the natural environment. We've got this boy here who's fed up with the toys from the city, because what should have been valuable was their lives untainted by the city beforehand with the aurora. And these 2 pages here are a flashback to what the village and the island looked like before. The ghosts were very happy. The aurora was quite healthy. But now things have changed. And we also get some backstory for the chief as well. The chief was a person from the city, and he met a woman who came from the island itself. And so he came to the village, and when it turns out that the woman was the daughter of the chief. So when the chief passed away, this man became the chief himself. And we see the tree of light starting to disintegrate, to break apart. And he's treated like an outsider by the professor because he's a man from the city. And here he is meeting his wife who had passed away, and that's their son, the boy. And though he tried to help, and he had the best of intentions with this tree of light, maybe he just didn't understand the culture fully, and he's left with the ruins of the tree of light and everyone leaving. So the pumpkin heads left, the boy left, the professor left as well. It is quite a sad story coming towards the end here. So he's saying goodbye to his son, who now is moving to the city. And it's only the 3 of them left. So the chief, the mouse, and the boy with the glasses. But together, when they're making their they're making a little fire, one of the ghosts appears again. And it says here, welcome to the village of the dark, or the dark village. And we can see the ghosts restoring the aurora, ending the story there. So this is the boy saying goodbye to the village. And that's the end of the manga. So this manga was created in 2012. And so again, coming back to what I thought about this this manga, also would be interesting to show under the obi. It's just the chief by himself. So sort of foreshadows the story a bit. But yeah, in terms of my thoughts of the manga, I love the art style. It fit the vibe, the atmosphere very well. Full of darkness, simple character designs. But when it came to the story, it did seem a little too simple, although I did like thinking about what the message was with the city versus the village, and an island that is untainted by technology or anything else like that, and then suddenly having representatives from the city come and introduce different things like the Tree of Light. None of them really knew what the implications were. None of that was really discussed. But for them, it seems like a good idea because they needed light. It was an incredibly dark island. But once that came about, you see the consequences of maybe not understanding these foreign influences, external things that can sort of invade the island, act like a parasite. Because the Tree of Light essentially just fed on the aurora, a very natural part of the island. And so it is very interesting to think about what, especially with the fact that the chief was from the city as well. And I always think of, like, when it comes to this manga, just difference in cultures, maybe properly understanding the values of the island of the dark, the village of the dark, that sort of thing. But yeah, I still haven't fully understood the story itself because I did only just read it recently, but I think it's still nonetheless a very it is thought provoking. It's unique and interesting. I'm not sure if it's entertaining in the traditional sense, but I don't regret buying this, and I don't regret reading it. Plus, I just love the art. I love simple characters, simple designs like this as well. So, Daisuke Nishijima has done a lot of other works. I believe Starfruit Books are putting out currently one of his works. They've got a couple volumes out. In terms of anything else that has been translated into English from his manga, nothing as of yet besides the Starfruit Books publication, I believe. I'll put it in the description if I do find anything else, but I don't believe there's anything right now. So these are all little ghosts at the back. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a bit of a shorter one and a different one compared to the previous few videos. I do like to switch it up every couple of videos or so. But yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.